Jayanath Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sahadruna Lalita Shiv Shakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome devotees once again all of you to this Bhakti Sastri sessions, and we are discussing Unit 2 Bhagavad Gita chapter 9. So
Bro, can you allow me as a host? Just showing I am not.
yeah, you are meant to be the co-host.
Okay.
Anupam Srinita.
Bro, is it visible on my screen?
Yes, screen is very much visible, Prabhu. I think it would be good to share not from here, but from vedawest.io. So we had discussed till text 10. So we saw in chapter 9, the first section, the qualification and disqualifications to hear this most confidence and knowledge were discussed. Non-envious person can obtain the most intimate knowledge of the absolute truth by hearing, by the process of hearing. And he can perceive Krishna directly through the process of devotional service. So this is the qualification, anusuyavaha, to become non-envious. Disqualification is faithlessness. A faithless person, Shraddha. Those who have no Shraddha, they will not get to the understanding of this most confidence and knowledge. So, Shraddhavan labhate jnana. A person who is having Shraddha, they only can actually fathom, at least they may not be able to reach, but at least they will be able to fathom this, this particular most confidence and knowledge. Those who are faithful, they will attain Krishna. And those who are not faithful, they cannot. The Lord tells from text 4 till text 10 that how Lord is connected with this material world. The relationship of Lord and the material world is inconceivable. Krishna had pervaded everything. Everything is in Krishna. At the same time, Krishna tells that I am not in anything. So everything is in Krishna, Krishna is not in anything at the same time. And Krishna creates and relates entire cosmos through his material energy. So Krishna is supreme controller, yet material world is just like automatic machine. The controller has just put the button on, and then everything is automatic. Supreme Lord has nothing to do with this material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction at the same time. An example was of what was the example we saw? Anyone remember? Example of Haribol. Prabhus, are you all there? Okay, before that I proceed ahead, again I like to announce that it's mandatory to keep your videos open, Prabhus. Kindly keep your videos open. Haribol. Thank you, Abhiram Chaitanya Prabhu, Anupam Snitai Prabhu, Achyut Ashoka Atma Prabhu, and Nishank Sinha Prabhu. Kindly keep your videos open. Okay, so it is inconceivable that Supreme Lord is how he is pervaded into this material world, and everything is under his control, but at the same time, Lord has nothing to do with this material world. So we saw the example of sky and the air. So sky is compared to with Krishna, and air is the whole material world. So no matter air can go here and there, anywhere, but cannot cross the boundary of sky. It is always there under sky. Similarly, this material world is so much pervaded, everything is happening, but under purview of the supremely omnipotent, omniscient, and pervaded everywhere, supreme personality of God, Krishna. So he's in that way, he's controlling everything. So this material nature, which is one of my energies working under my direction, Osanam Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So text 11 onwards, we are going to discuss today. So what is the next section? Non-worshippers and worshippers, from text 11 till text 19. Krishna compares his pure devotees to the impersonalist non-worshippers and demigod non-worshippers, those who worship the universal form also. So Vishwato Mukham, how to worship Vishwarup. He also describes how to meditate upon Vishwarup. So these things are going to be discussed next section from text 11 till 19. So let's begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावं मजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Purport. Some of us can read.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Krishna.
please.
Purport by His Divine Grace Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From the other explanations of the previous verse in this chapter, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conduct the creation, manifest, maintenance, and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be human being. Yet there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be a verily a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality, and as a confirmed in the Brahma Shamhita Ishvara Parama Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. There are many Ishvara controllers, and one appears greater than another. In the ordinary management of the affairs in this material world, we find some official or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him minister, and above him is a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by other. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many controllers, undoubtedly, both in the material and spiritual world, but Krishna is the supreme controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna. And his body is Sachidanand, non material. Material body cannot perform the wonderful act described in previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, although he is not a common man. The foolish derives him as considered him to be a man. His body is called here Manushim because he is acting just like a man. A friend of Arjuna's, politician involved in a battle of Kurukshetra. Is so, in so many ways, he is acting just like an ordinary man, but actually his body is Sachidananda Vigraha, eternal bliss and knowledge absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also. Sachidanand Rupaya Krishnaya. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is the eternal blissful from form of knowledge. Gopal Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.1. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tam ekam govindam, you are Govinda, the pleasure of senses and the cows, Sachidananda Vigraha, and your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Gopal Gopal Tapani Upanishad 1.38. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge, there are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who derided Krishna as the ordinary man. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but his conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Mudha. For only foolish person consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activities of the Supreme Lord and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, that he is the proprietor of everything that be and he can award liberation to anyone because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications that drives him. Nor do they know that the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of His eternal energy. He is the master of material energy. As, as has been explained in the several places, Mama Maya Durantaya. He claims that the material energy, although very powerful, is under his control, and however surrenders unto him can get out of the control of this material energy. If a soul surrendered, Krishna can get out of the influence of this material energy. Then how can the Supreme Lord, who conducts the creation, manifestation, maintenance and inhalation of the whole cosmic nature, have a material body like us? So, this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish person, however, cannot conceive that the personality of Godhead Krishna appearing just like a ordinary man can be controlled of all the atoms and other gigantic manifestation of the universe form. The biggest and the minute are beyond their conception. So they cannot imagine that form like the human beings can simultaneously control the infinite and minute. Actually, although he is controlling the infinite and the finite, he is apart from all this manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his yoga Aishwaryam, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and the finite simultaneously, and that he can remain aloof from them. Although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears just like a human being, can control the infinite and finite. Those who are pure devotee accept this, for they knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore they completely surrender unto Him and engage in Krishna consciousness devotional service of the Lord. There are many controversies between the impersonalist and the personalist about the Lord's appearance as a human being. But if we conduct, but if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative text for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary man, although he.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Guruji.
Yes, bro.
So we have to read in the very much thematic way, in the sense there are four themes need to be selected, right? First thing is that we need to see if there anywhere mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada getting reflected in the purport. Second thing is that is there any personal application we can get personally, we can apply the instruction given by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. And is there any fact, anything what the logic and examples Prabhupada is giving that we can use in our preaching, right? Our own personal preaching application, so to speak. Then you have analogies. Many analogies are beautiful analogies are given by Srila Prabhupada. So these things has to be, sorted out while we are reading. So I may seldom ask you, like, can you get some preaching application from this particular section? So we have to keenly reading it. So we are not just reading it, but studying the text. So analyzing in different angles. These are the mainly basic three, four angles we have to do it. So what so far we have read just now? Could you tell any preaching application that Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport?
Srila Prabhupada told about the like Mayavadis. They see
Okay.
Krishna as an impersonalist, and we believe Krishna is personalist or experience also in the temples and other places. So Srila Prabhupada is convincing in a very Vedic way or the practical with practical examples and the quotes also to prove Krishna is a person, not a imperson. And one thing is for application is that if anything is inside the creation or anything inside the creation, then he can think how the person exists inside the creation can be the like doer or maker of the creations. अगर किसी ने कुछ बनाया है तो फिर वो उस चीज के अंदर कैसे पहुंचे तो कृष्णा माइन्यूट हैं काफी छोटे हैं फिर वो इतना बड़ा क्रिएशन कैसे बना दिए तो दीज थिंग्स
So what is the personal application into it, bro?
पर्सनल एप्लीकेशन अगर देखा जाए
And personal application mean to say that what we can practice in our life reading this purport. That's not the personal application.
हम्म
Yeah. Preaching application means you are rightly told that how Mayavadis are thinking that it's not possible by a person to make some big universe as such. Now we are into so because they're like mean mindedness there. So that's a preaching application.
so personal application can be this like Prabhuji in my understanding so whenever see a DT in a small forms Gopala form any other form so people like thinks Krishna is ordinary person, but they don't have surrender because they don't have knowledge what Krishna has did. How is it like qualities and all these things. So if we can remember Krishna is also present as a small boy also and he has created the whole universe. So ultimately he is the supreme controller or doer inhalator. So we should offer the obeisances in that way. For suppose a president is there, so there is much more higher surrender is there. But sometimes we see Krishna, but we don't have surrender. We don't pay obeisance in that mood. If we remember all these qualities, That Krishna has created all the universe, all the things. So the surrender should be at that much.
Very nice. Any other devotee like to share? Any personal application from the section what we read just now?
Yes, yes, to Hare Krishna. So, Prabhupada mentioning about Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, he wants that we should respect the living entities also, besides worshipping the deity at the temple. So, basically, we worship the Krishna in the temple, like we daily do deity worship, or and we are serving the deities in the temple, or we have some service in the temple. Beside that, we should respect the living entities also. If we
Yeah.
hurt living entities or we criticize, then the temple worshipping is useless. That described here by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So that should be our personal implication, that we should always carry forward the respect for the living entities, like Dive Dya Name Ruchi Vaishnav Seva. That should be our topmost priority.
Thank you so much. Wonderful point. So, worship of Lord will only be complete when we also consider and give respect to the jivas of the Lord, right? Forget about no what to talk about bhaktas of the Lord. Okay, Nisang Sinnapru, anything you like to say? Any preaching application? Any personal application? Yeah. Oh, is there not? I think I don't know. Oh, is there Nisang Pro? Is there? Anuj, Anuj?
File.
I think you are maybe your net is having some issue. We'll come back to you. Achut, Anupam Srinitai Prabhu. I don't think it's done now. Okay. Who is speaking? Your sound is breaking, Prabhu. Who is speaking? Abhiram Prabhu is speaking?
No, bro, I am not speaking.
Oh, I think Anuj Prabhu is speaking, but his sound is breaking. So here, one very important thing in this particular section, there are many controversies between impersonalists and personalists or Lord's appearance. But if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative text for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality God. So this is a preaching application or a personal application, both, isn't it?
Yes, bro.
Both things. So we should consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and we should also preach people through Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, not from any other scriptures. Then people will be able to understand who is Krishna in true sense. I will share for now onwards, because that will be easy for me to refer to different points and sections smoothly and a little promptly. So this after this particular sloka, I'll share. Okay, go ahead. So we'll proceed ahead to the different next sloka. I'll share. You can unshare, bro. I'll share. Thank you. You are able to see this screen, bro?
Yes, bro.
Okay. Text 912. मोघाशमोघ कर्माणो मोघ ज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः. Translation: those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Perfect.
So there are many devotees who assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, but at heart do not accept supreme personality of Godhead Krishna as the absolute truth. For them, the fruit of devotional service going back to Godhead will never be tested. Similarly, 50 pious activities and who are ultimately hoping to be liberated from this material entanglement will never be successful either. Because they deride the supreme personality of God and Krishna. In other words, persons who mock Krishna are to be demonic or atheistic. As described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad, such demonic miscreants never surrender to Krishna. Therefore, their mental speculations to arrive at the absolute truth bring them to the false conclusion that the ordinary living entity and Krishna are one and the same. With such a false conviction, they think that the body of any human being is now simply covered by material nature, and that as soon as this material body, there is no difference between God and Himself. This attempt to become one with Krishna will be baffled because of delusion. Such atheistic and demoniac cultivation of spiritual knowledge is also futile. That is the indication of this verse. For such persons, cultivation of the knowledge in the Vedic literature like the Vedanta Sutras and the Upanishads is always baffled. It is a great offense, therefore, to consider Krishna.
Prabhu, we can wait. Let me just discuss a bit. So here we see this three kinds of people are mentioned in this sloka. Mogasha, Moga Karmana, and Moga Jnana. So the three kind of people, they have the similar kind of fate. When we tell Moga, Moga means something which fails, right? Amoga means which never fails. If you had read Ramayana in your childhood days, then we used to hear that, read that Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra ne amog ban choda. Amog means which will surely go and shoot the goal. But here Moga means useless, right? Without any success, baffled in their hopes. Mogasha. Asha means hopes. So this particular section is for bhaktas, for the devotees. Mog Asha means what is our Asha at the end of our day or end of our life? What is our Asha, Prabhu? What is our Asha? For the bhaktas, what is Asha?
Krishna Prema.
We want to return home back to God, want to get Krishna Prema, right? But a devotee is not actually having truly got into his heart the conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of that, he won't able to get that asha fulfilled. Asha will get into nirasha. So he is not understanding param bhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. The Krishna is bhut maheshwaram. He is the supreme lord of all the jivas. Everything is happening by his desire. If somebody is not able to understand, even being bhakta, he won't be able to get to the result of his bhakti. That's what being told by Srila Prabhupada. So we see in the neophyte stage, devotees, they have so many problems into their life, and they also get into so much of confusion and doubt about Krishna and why Krishna did this for me, why Krishna did that for me, why I'm not getting salary, why I'm not getting hike in my salary, why I'm not getting job. So many questions they ask, and they keep slipping away from their devotional life. And the chanting also, but the chanting is just a mechanical process because they don't have the faith on Krishna. They don't have faith on Krishna that everything is being directed by Krishna himself. Mam bhutamayasam, just previous sloka. So bhaktas, even though they are doing devotion service, they want to return home back to God. and forget about prema. Then moha karmano, for the karmis, if they do not believe that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead, their karmas also will not get to their results. Right? That's what we see nowadays. People, they work so hard, but hardly they are happy. Hardly they are enjoying their senses. They are supposed to enjoy the senses, right? That's the purpose of life. Karmi means what? Karmi, what do they do? What do they work for? What do the karmi work for? What is the goal of karmis? Yeah,
Sense enjoyment.
sense enjoyment is the goal of karmis. But even when they are going to do sense enjoyment, they're actually finding that they're not able to enjoy. And nowadays, karmis, they have sense enjoyment on the earth. But previous days, karmis, they have the higher goal of reaching to heavenly planet. And those heavenly planet also they want able to reach. And Moga Jnana, for the impersonalist, what is their purpose of doing impersonal Brahmanusandhan? What is their purpose? What is their goal? Huh?
To achieve the Brahma Jyoti.
To achieve the Brahma Jyoti. And if they are not believing that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead, they will become Mayavadi. That's the difference between impersonalist, true impersonalist, and the Mayavadi impersonalist. The Mayavadi impersonalists are those who do not believe that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead, and they have impersonal conception of absolute truth. So they will go to hell. But they are true impersonalists also. They know that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead. But the ultimate sense, they say that impersonal is from impersonal Krishna has come. Impersonal Krishna is like a convertible element. So they have this conception. So even those impersonalists, they will not attain to their goal if they are defying the Supreme Personality Godhead. So moghasha, mogha karmano, mogha jnana vichetsa, rakshase asurim chaiva. So prakriti mohinim sita. So it's a great offense. Could you continue on, Prabhu, from here? Achyuta asokata ma Prabhu is there. Once again, I would kindly request, kindly open up your videos, devotees, kindly keep your videos open and kindly keep your videos open so that I could request you to read also. So, Madhav Rajvalla Prabhu, could you read?
So it is a great offense, therefore, to consider Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be an ordinary man. Those who do so are certainly deluded because they cannot understand the eternal form of Krishna. The Brihad Vishnu Smriti clearly states, Yovetti Bhautikam Deham Krishnasya Paramatmanaha Sasarvasmad Bahitkarya Srauta Smartha Vidhanatha Mukam Tasyavalokyapi Sachelam Snanam Acharet. One who considers the body of Krishna to be the material should be driven out from all rituals and activities of the Sruti and the Smriti. And if one by chance sees his face, one should at once take bath in the Ganges to get rid himself of infection. People jeer at Krishna because they are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their destiny is certainly to take birth after birth in the species of atheistic and demoniac life. Perpetually, their real knowledge will remain under delusion, and gradually they will regress to the darkest region of the creation.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, any preaching application you are able to see here, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Could you say any preaching application that you can use in your preaching services?
Okay.
Any other devotee? Any other devotee like to share any preaching, personal, mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada? Right there, preaching application there, no? Those who
I
consider
didn't get what you mean, Prabhu. I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
I mean, when we are reading Prabhupada books, then we categorize things into some number of sections. We classify them into different themes. Like somewhere Srila Prabhupada mood and mission is reflected, you know. Somewhere some things we can apply in our own bhakti, our own bhakti life. That's called personal application. Where mood and mission is reflected, that is mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, and where some points we can directly use in our preaching services for to convince some kind of people to perform devotion service and to perform devotion service more vigorously and whatsoever. So that comes into preaching application. So we have to be very keenly reading purpose of Prabhupada so that we are able to figure out these sections with these classifications of the purpose so that we can apply them into different objectives. And this is an essay you have to write. So essay also you have to be writing into these things, categorizing your essay into these things, preaching application, mood and mission, personal application, like that. So that's what I was asking. Is it clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, understood.
So like that. Okay. So in the previous part we saw that how a person who thinks Krishna's body to be material body like any other human being, that person is actually out of Vedic purview. That person could not be even seen. If somebody happens to see his face, then he should go and take bath in Ganga, right? So it's right there in Vedas, this particular shloka. That's very beautiful shloka. Sarvasmat Bahishkarya Srautasmartha Vidhanatah Mukham Tasyavalokyaphi Sachelam Snanamachare. And how whatever snanam, one should go without taking out their clothes, one should go and dip into the water. So even clothes also have got contaminated by seeing that person who considers bhautikam deham krishnasya, who considers Krishna's deham body to be bhautikam, who is Paramatma himself. So for Krishna there is a difference between body and soul. So this is one of the most crucial principle of Vaishnava Dharma. So we don't consider Krishna body and Krishna soul to be different. So this is very beautiful sloka to quote also, where it's mentioned that Krishna body and Krishna soul is non different, right? So this is what is here. Bhautikam deham Krishna se Paramatma sa sarvasmat bahishkarya shrautasmart vidhanata. So very nice preaching application. Okay, so next text 13. So what is the position of pure devotees? Previous two slokas are mentioned about those who are defying the Lord, those do not surrender to the Lord. 9:13. महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्ति अनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. Translation. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Nam bhutadim abhayam. Same thing that Lord is telling in just text number 11. Those who are against avajananti mama mudha manusim tanumasritam param bhavam ajanantu mama bhuta maheshwaram. So mudha people, they do not understand Krishna. That they think that Krishna has come into material body. So he has taken the human-like form. So, but just contrast to those people are other type of people, those who are Atmas. And their activity is bhajanti ananda manaso gyatva bhutadimam. They understand that Lord is bhutadimam. He is the origin of all the bhutas and is inexhaustible. Mam bhuta maheshwara. Same thing. Purport. In this word, the description of Mahatma. Who would like to read purport? Anuj, Prabhu, could you read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this affected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is a preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. So one is promoted in that way by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by the Krishna's other features such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to the other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in answering, answering, unswerving service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, the description of Mahatma is being told by Srila Prabhupada. What is Mahatma? Who has taken the divine nature, shelter of divine nature. What is divine nature? Beyond these three modes. Sattu, Rajas, and Tamas. And Srila Prabhupada tells how one can come to the divine nature. That is mentioned in 7th chapter. Can anybody tell which sloka is that?
तो इस दुखालय में शास्त्रम के जस्ट पहले वाला श्लोक
Yes.
So by 15.
Which sloka? 7th chapter we discussed. The Lord is telling that one can become free from control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality Godhead. That is a preliminary formula.
Who 7.14?
Samsiddhim paramam gati.
Devi hai Esha Gunamai.
Yes. Who is telling this?
Aviram Chadan.
Aviram Chadan. Yes. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mammaya Durattata Mameve Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite. In any condition whatsoever, devotees are put into by the influence of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. Devotees immediately take shelter of Krishna. Shelter of Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna means immediately they chant the names of Krishna, think about Krishna. That doesn't require even to apply any much energy also. Think about Krishna. So that's what is called taking shelter of divine nature. Taking shelter of divine nature. So whole material world is under shelter of three modes of material nature, and the pure devotees, Mahatmas, they always take shelter of divine nature of Krishna. That's why they're called Mahatma. Because in their heart, Atma, they have hosted Mahan people. And who is Mahan person? It's Krishna. That's why they have become Mahatma. The Atma, Mahan, Supreme Personality Body. Krishna stays. So that is Mahan. And that's pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada writes that Mahatma is not attracted toward anyone other than Krishna. They never seek shelter of anybody except Krishna. The 200 Krishna, Dibhuj Muralidhara, not even four-armed Mahavishnu, and forget about taking shelter of devatas and whatsoever. Never. Into their mind, into their heart, into their intelligence, into their action, there is only and only Krishna. That's what is called the position of Mahatma, who is there in the divine nature. They are not like a rubber stamp Mahatma. As Indians, they believe that he is a good politician also, he is a uh, diplomat also, and at the same time, he is Mahatma also. But it's not like that. Srila Prabhupada hammered upon this point. Once Srila Prabhupada is there in Bombay, and one person asked that, Swamiji, this Bharatvarsh is the land of Mahatmas. There are so many Mahatmas has come, but still this land is, having so much of suffering, so much of poverty. Why it is so? Srila Prabhupada's response was what, because on this land, a true Mahatma is regarded to be Duratma, and Duratma is regarded to be Mahatma. That's why. When Mahatmas, Srila Prabhupada created Mahatmas from in foreign land, and Prabhupada brought them here. And Indian people in India, they were telling that, hey, these people are suttabas, hippies, CIA agents, this and that. Right? But somebody who is a loafer number one, and they have named him to be Mahatma. So Mahatma means exclusively they have taken shelter of Krishna with no other option to go anywhere. That's called nirvikalp. है ना? Nirvikalp मतलब what is the meaning of nirvikalp?
No other option.
No other option. So Mahatma have no other option to take shelter of. In every situation, they have only one vikalpa, that is Krishna to take shelter of. Right? So they are called Mahatmas. They are always unswerving service to the Lord in Krishna consciousness. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Krishna Anusilanam. If they meditate only upon Krishna holds, then it would be Kansa also Mahatma. But Kansa is not Mahatma because he is not in Krishna consciousness. He is not Krishna Anusilanam. He is not favorably inclined toward Krishna. He is thinking about Krishna, but unfavorably. That's why he is not Mahatma. But Mahatmas are those who think about Krishna in a favorable way, in this mood of service attitude. That's why they are called Mahatmas. Okay, let's go to next sloka. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavratah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Translation: always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Further characteristics of Mahatma going on. Purport? Who like to read purport?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting of the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His eternal form, His transcendental qualities, and His uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of Supreme Lord, the Brahmajyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That is devotion. Sravanam, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, and Smaranam. Remembering him, such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve the ultimate end the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental rasas. To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, everything, in the service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the month, Ekadasi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations and therefore are sure to achieve the desired result.
Go ahead.
As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live his life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari. In any position and anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually a Mahatma, a great soul.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nishank Prabhu. So, Srila Prabhupada is telling that what is to mean Mahatma? Mahatma is not made by a stamp, rubber stamp, any ordinary person. And he is not an impersonalist. That's because for the impersonalist there is no scope of glorifying. What impersonalists will glorify, right? What you can glorify, the light which is coming from the tube light. Wow, kya light hai. Khatam. Or maybe how much candle light is there, that much finished. But a person who is glorifying the Lord is certainly personalist. Mahatma means that he will be only a personalist, not impersonalist. So one has to glorify these things. What are those things? Holy name, Nam, Rupa, Guna, and pastimes of the Lord. That's the first characteristic of Mahatma. Of course, previously it is told those who have accepted the shelter of divine potency. And being in divine potency, what is their characteristics? They are like what's called two types of characteristics of anything. One is called Sarupa Lakshana and another is Tatastha Lakshana. Sarupa Lakshana is that its nature, by nature it is like that. You know, Bhaktas are by nature in the Krishna consciousness. By nature they have accepted the shelter of Krishna. It's nothing artificial. But being accepted the shelter of Krishna, what are the secondary attributes, secondary characteristics they show? They are this. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. They glorify the Lord's names, forms, pastimes, and his qualities. Satatam Kirtayanto. And Yatantascha Dhirdhavarta. And they are very, very determined to carry over the service of the Lord in this succession. Dhirdhavarta. So, and Namasyantasya Mam Bhaktya. Namasyantasya. They always, because they always Nitya Yukta Upasita means they're always paying obeisances to the Lord. It's not like sometimes when I go to temple, then I pay obeisances to the Lord. No, they're always engaged in paying obeisances to the Lord. When it happened, there was fight, a type of verbal fight between, not verbal fight, it was like a misunderstanding between Daksha Prajapati and Lord Shiva. This section comes in Srimad Bhagavad. And Lord Shiva, when he was there in the assembly of Daksha, Lord Shiva could not get up when Daksha enters into the assembly. Everybody got up except Lord Shiva and Brahma. But Lord Shiva happened to be Jamai the son-in-law of Daksha, he thought that this person should also would have been got up, but he couldn't get up because he envied me. But Lord Shiva was fully into the trance, remembering Krishna, Vasudeva. So he misunderstood Lord Shiva. And so many of curses, counter curses happened with Daksha Prajapati, Brahmanas, and Lord Shiva's associates, Nandi, and all. And then Lord Shiva tells to his wife, Sati, that your father, Daksha, had offended me. There was practically no fault from my part, but still he spoken as if I have offended him. I could not get up in his honor. So he tells that actually I am being on the pure sattva platform and always paying obeisances to the Lord. Forget about paying obeisances once. And people they pay obeisances to each other, usually to whom they pay obeisances? To the body. Lord Shiva tells actually one should pay obeisances to the Paramatma in the body of everyone, not to the body. Body is dead. What the body need to be paid obeisances for, right? If you pay obeisances to someone, person, in mode of passion and ignorance, we pay obeisances to the person. And that's why we distinguish between, okay, that person worthy to be give respect for. So we'll pay obeisances to him. That person is not worthy. He's not worthy, guys. So we'll not pay obeisances. Means he's considering mode of passion and ignorance, thinking the person on the outward bodily platform. But person who is in Mahatma platform, who is actually taking a center of Krishna, they pay obeisances to Paramatma in the heart of every jiva. And they are always engaged in pay obeisances. Sattvam Visuddham Vasudeva Sabditam Yadiyate Tatra Pumana Papatah. Then he goes, Sattve Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudeve Hiya Daksajami Namasa Vidiyate. Lord Shiva tells that Sattve Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudeva. In the Sattva Guna, in pure Sattva, in the pure Sattva platform, one is always remembering Krishna. And being so, he is always paying obeisances to Krishna. He adokshajome namasa. Namasa means always paying obeisances to Krishna. Namasa vidiyate. There is never a moment he is not paying obeisances to Krishna. He is always humble. So that's the position of Mahatma. Namasantascha Maham Bhakta Nitya Yukta Upasate. So this is his constant practice. Nitya perpetually engaged, he worships Krishna. So how many characteristics? Satatam Kirtyanto Ma, Yatantascha Dhedvata, Namasantascha Maham Bhakta. Namasantascha Nitya Yukta Upasate. Nitya Yukta Upasate. Fourth is all worships Krishna, perpetually engaged in worship of Krishna. Okay, so these are all. There are some very very important personal applications into this particular purport. Do you feel like to share some of those? Some personal application.
The personal application is that like we should observe the rules and regulation very strictly. So if you want to achieve the stage of the Mahatma anything.
Yeah, exactly. So Prabhupada writes that fasting on certain days, Ekadasi, appearance day of the Lord. These rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission to Association of Supreme Personality. The Mahatma, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations. Strictly. Therefore, they are sure to achieve the desired result. So that's what is a very nice personal application that Abraham Prabhu has pointed out from here. And there could be many more personal applications. Maybe other devotees may try. Anybody else? Preaching application, personal application, whatever you feel like to share. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. So, last para, Prabhu, Prabhupada is mentioning about that devotional service is easy. It's not like we have to go under many severe penance and austerity. So it can be very easy by taking guidance from an expert spiritual master, either it be a sannyasi or householder, Prabhupada mentioning it, or we can become brahmachari, householder, or a sannyasi in whatever position. So personal application is like that in whatever position we are, either we are at job or we are at home or we are brahmachari. So we can get regular guidance from spiritual master, and we can live happily and lead our life for expert or Mahatma. We can follow the footsteps.
Perfect. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Achyuta Sumar. So he can perform devotion service and become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Right? Anybody, any platform one can. But they should show these characteristics. You become somebody has become Mahatma means they should show the characteristic of Mahatma, Tatastha and Sarupa, right? Satatam kirtiyanto mam yatanta shridrita. So when it to come to that platform of Mahatma, that's the Prabhupada is telling all of us. Text 15.
And one preaching application also I
Yes.
noticed here. Here Srila Prabhupada says that the fully Krishna consciousness means one is completely engaged in Krishna consciousness, like mansa vacha karmana, mentally, bodily, and by vocal. Then if we engage all these three, so then it is called a fully Krishna conscious.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, Aviram Chetan, for pointing out this. Mahatma means that Nitya Yukta Upasade, always into Krishna consciousness, fully engaged, not only bodily engaged, not only just verbally engaged, but when he's speaking about Krishna, when he's acting for Krishna, mind is also there on Krishna. Mind is not somewhere else. Mind is also like somebody chanting names of Krishna. Fingers are engaged, karma, mouth, the tongues are engaged, vacha, and mind is also engaged. Manasa is also engaged in thinking about Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet. Wonderful point. So that's what it to me to Mahatma. Otherwise, Duratma. One another poet was telling, Vanaschayekas, Manaschayekam, Vachaschayekam, Karmaschayekam, Mahatmana. महात्मा का क्या होता है? मन, वचन और कर्म एक होता है और दुरात्मा का उल्टा होता है. मनश्चान्यम, वचश्चान्यम, कर्मश्चान्यम दुरात्मा. बोलेगा कुछ, करेगा कुछ दूसरा और सोच कुछ तीसरा चीज रहेगा. So they are duratmas. They have not yet come to the Mahatma level. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, also our situations are like that, right? We are chanting something, something, something. I mean, we're chanting Harina, but all of a sudden the sleep comes, and we speak out something else in the sleep, right? So this is not, we have not yet come to the Mahatma platform. I'm thinking something else. Background, something else is going on. Okay. Expecting. ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्. Others, translation, others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. Yes, can someone read?
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This verse is the summary of the previous verses. The Lord tells Arjuna that those who are purely in Krishna consciousness and do not know anything other than Krishna are called Mahatma. Yet there are other persons who are not exactly in the position of Mahatma but who worship Krishna also in different ways. Some of them have already been described as the distressed, the financially destitute, the inquisitive, and those who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. But there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into three. He who worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord. Second, he who concocts some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that. The third, he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship that. Out of the above three, the lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monists, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and in this mentality, they worship themselves. This is also a type of God worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body but are actually spiritual soul. At least such a sense is prominent. Generally, the impersonalists worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The second class includes the worshippers of the demigods, those who by imagination consider any form to be the form of the Supreme Lord. And the third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. They consider the universe to be the supreme organism or entity and worship that. The universe is also a form of the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank us, Prabhu. So here how Srila Prabhupada is beautifully giving the gradation of people lower than Mahatmas. So Mahatmas means pure devotee of the Lord. There is no doubt about it. They are 100% engaged in the service of the Lord, fully Krishna conscious, ananyas chetata manaso. And lower than them are those devotees to the Lord, devotees of the Lord, but they have come to worship the Lord out of their ulterior motives. There are four kinds of ulterior motives, right? What are the four kinds of ulterior motives, Prabhu? Four ulterior motives.
Dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
Wow, wonderful. So this is Bhagavatam perspective. There are other four kinds of devotees who come for four things mentioned in I think mentioned in 7th chapter itself.
Artha, arthi, jigyasu, gyani.
Very nice. So same point told by two devotees, Anupam Prabhu and Abhinav Prabhu. So Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. The four kinds of people that come to Krishna. So they are not Mahatmas, but they are not they're not Mahatma, but they're not Duratma also, so to speak. They're lower than Mahatmas. They are great souls. But lower than lower than these four kind of people are these three kind of people. Who are they? ज्ञान यज्ञेन च अपि अन्ये जन्तः माम उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतोमुख. So this particular shloka is pointing out to those people, those who not worship Krishna. They are into different kinds of conception of worship. So here we see ज्ञान यज्ञेन, like cultivation of knowledge, च अपि अन्ये यजन्तः माम उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतोमुख. Ekattvena means accepting self to be God, right? Who are these people? They are the worst kind of people among these three. Who are these people, proves? Impersonalist Mayavadis. Jnana yajnana they worship. Jnana yajnana. They do say Brahma Anusandhan, Nirvishesh Brahma Anusandhan. And then Pritatvena, they consider any form to be God. Any form to be God. Any form they consider to be God. Sab ek hai, sab Bhagwan, whoever it is. So Panchapashakas, so there comes in this platform. Pritatvena. Pritatvena Bahuda. And then Vishwatamukham. Vishwatamukham are those people, those who worship universal form of the Lord. There are some kind of people you have seen, they worship universe. all the desires you are having is getting recorded by universe. And as you contemplate upon your desires, universe will make all arrangements to fulfill your desires, right? Power of contemplation, mystery of manifestation. And this type of ads also nowadays comes, isn't it? Have you seen such ads? Power of manifestation. Universe will give you answers. So they worship Vishwarup of the Lord, universe. So they are below than this, even four type of ulterior motive people. Text 16. Aham kraturaham yagyah swadhaham aham aushadham mantraham aham yevajyam aham agni aham hutam. Translation. But it is I who am at the ritual. I, the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Everything is I. Aham. Krishna is everything. I am the ritual. Aham kratu. Aham yajna. I am the sacrifice. Swadha. The oblations. Aham aushadham. The healing herb. Mantraha. Aushadham means the herbs which are used in sacrifices. Mantra, transcendental chant. Aham. I eva ajam, melted butter that is put into sacrifice. Aham agni. I am the fire. And I am on the offering. What?
Hare Krishna. The Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotistoma is also Krishna. He is also the Maha Yajna mentioned in the Smriti. The oblation offered to the Pitraloka or the sacrifice performed to the please the Pitraloka, considered as a king of Drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made this milk production for offering in the sacrifices is also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the five material element and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Krishna in Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or in other words, those who are engaged in the rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas.
Understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended. So those who have taken shelter of Krishna fully, for them everything is complete. They have come to the conclusion of all the Vedic yajnas. What is the conclusion of Vedic yajna? In this particular shloka. Krishna is everything. Krishna is ritual, Krishna is sacrifice, is oblation, Krishna is Agni, Krishna is the herbs, Krishna only is the mantra, Krishna only is the person who is chanting the mantra, Krishna only is fire, Krishna only is the offering, the wood, the ghee, everything. Right? That's the conclusion of Vedanta. Janmadhyastataha. And Krishna, devotees of Krishna Mahatmas, they know it everything. A similar kind of sloka has come in second chapter, right? If you remember. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavi. Anybody remember that sloka? Not him. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi. Let's see if there is any hit. It's in fourth chapter, sorry. It's fourth chapter. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmameva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom. because its full contribution to the spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Right. So, that's the position of devotees. Brahma Agno, you see? Brahma Agno, Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havi, the butter, Brahma Agno, Brahmana Hutam, offering of things which are offered, that's Brahmana. Brahmana Devatena Gantavyam. And the person who has understood this, he will certainly attain spiritual kingdom. Everything is Krishna. Brahma Karma Samadhina. Being complete in absorption in Krishna consciousness, spiritual nature. Anyway, let's go back. Okay. कहाँ अटक गए हम लोग? Okay. 9:17. पितामहस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च. Translation: I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsires. I am the object of knowledge, purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sam, the Yajur Vedas. I am the father of the universe, Pitaham Asya Jagatah, the mother, Mata, Dhata, Dhata means supporter, support. Pitamaha, the grandfather. I am the Vedyam, what to be known, Vedyam. Like we say Khadyam means what to be eaten. Similarly, Vedyam is what to be known. Pavitram, that which purifies Omkara, the purifier, the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sam, the Yajur Vedas. Krishna is all. Three. Rig, Sam, Yajur. Okay. So these are the three Vedas. That's a Veda called Trai. Yes, three Vedas. Sam, Yajur, and Rig. Why? Because before previously there was only one Veda, Atharva. Atharva has been divided into three, Rig, Sam, and Yajur. Okay, so purport. Purport. Who will do the purport?
Purport by His Divine Grace, S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The entire cosmic manifestations the entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc., are nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhatha means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcel of Krishna, but the creator, grandmother, grandfather, etc., are also Krishna. Actually, any living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas, therefore, aim only towards Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step towards understanding Krishna. That subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is especially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and us as such is also Krishna. In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om, called Pranava, is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of the four Vedas, Sama, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva, the Pranava or Omkara is very prominent and it is understood to be Krishna.
Correct. Yeah, so there's all this thing, everything is actually Krishna. Lord is telling everything is me only. Pitahama, Asya Jagato Mata Dhata Pitam. Everything is me. So one should not understand that, okay, no, there are some kind of people, they say that, Prabhuji, can't I just worship my mother and father to be Krishna? And I will get the result of returning home back to God. So no, 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 no. It's not possible like that. No, that people listen, you know, there is some song also in some Bollywood films that made this song. To hi meri, to hi Bhagwan, something like that. And they give the example of some Shravan Kumar or something. And so they make mother, father to be Bhagwan. So it's not to understand in that way. But one should understand that manifestation of whoever is father, mother, everything is actually from Krishna. They're part and parcel of Krishna in that way. They're actually representing Krishna. So in that way, we must understand. As you know, in the life of Dhruva Maharaj, when Dhruva Maharaj was hurted by his stepmother and his father, then he approaches to his own mother Suniti, and Suniti tells that, see, I cannot do anything. I'm helpless. But trillions and trillions of time, more affection and more modesty is there with Supreme Lord. And He is the mother of all. He has more motherly affection than me, millions and trillions of times. You should go to Him. He only will. So whatever mother's affection we are getting, that affection's source is Krishna. Whatever father is giving our guardianship and maintenance, everything, that everything is actually coming from Krishna. And whatever thing, like specifically in Vedic literatures, the knowledge Vedic literature is given is actually coming from Krishna. So I am the object of knowledge. Of course, he is to be known. He is the purifier. He is syllable Om. He is the Rig, Sam, Yajur Vedas. Krishna is Rig, Sam, Yajur Vedas. But if you start finding Krishna in from Rig, Sam, Yajur Vedas, you will not get it. Lord Brahma himself tells that. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham bhakto. So I'm very much, very, very rare to find in Vedas. But Lord is telling, I'm the Rigsham Yajur Vedas. But to understand Krishna through Rigsham Yajur Vedas, one really need to go quite deep into it. So, because Vedas always speak very indirect way, very, very indirect way. But to understand those indirect directions, one required eyes from acharyas, chakhu. Otherwise, one won't be able to get to that. So all these things are there. Pitamasya Jagto Mata Dhata Pitama. But to understand this in connection with Krishna, we require guidance of a spiritual master. Otherwise, we won't be able to understand it truly, in the true sense. Any reflection? Any reflection in this particular section, particular purport? Devotees? Anything you feel like to say? Mission, mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada? Or preaching application? Or personal application?
One like for preaching related, the realization is all relationship rest in Krishna. Father, mother, grandfather, or the creator, the role played in living entities, they all the like parts and energies of the Krishna. Then the truth is the Krishna is the real father, mother, and sustainer.
Yeah.
It is also very, through this we can understand how we can become more Krishna consciousness, seeing everywhere Krishna, like motherly affection is Krishna, fatherly guardianism is Krishna, so Omkara is Krishna. Everything that is deriving in this cosmic manifestation is Krishna, and all the living entities are Krishna. So through this, I think it's we should understand how we can become more Krishna consciousness, always thinking about Krishna.
Very beautiful point. Madhav Rajvallabh Prabhu and also Abhiram Prabhu's point is to understand Krishna is practically in every aspect whatsoever. And that's what Krishna wanted to impress through the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. that we could be 100% 24/7 Krishna conscious. That's what is main agenda of Krishna, to be Krishna conscious always. Very wonderful point. Any other devotee? Okay, let's go ahead. गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवास शरणं सुरेत् प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजम् अव्ययम्. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, the most dear friend. Ah, I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seat. Purport.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Gati means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets, being manifestations of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by the staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is the supreme ruler, and because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy, Krishna being situated in everyone's heart is a supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity. And since Krishna is the source of our generation and are the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes.
Sure, sure, Prabhupada. So the whole objective of Krishna in this slokas is to make us understand that you should be always thinking about me, no matter wherever you go. Gati, whatever is your gati, like somebody is there in company working, and he want to go from the position of supervisor to the position of manager, from position of manager to position of maybe general manager, or so on and so forth. Right. Because all the positions are just manifestation of the owner of the company, right? He only has made the company, he has made the all the positions. But those who are less intelligent employee, sometimes they don't even know the name of the owner, right? They don't have anything to do with the owner. अरे कोई भी है क्या मतलब है सैलरी मिलना चाहिए बस फिनिश एंड आई वी शुड गेट हाइक इन पोजीशन एज वेल एज salary, right? So Lord is telling, I am the gati. Whatever gati you are getting, that is made by me only. I am the gati ultimately. I am the bharta. Bharta means sustainer. I am only giving you all the uh, uh, things, whatever you are actually required to maintain yourself. I am Prabhu. Shakshi, I am witnessing everything. Nivashaha, where you are staying, that place, the position, sthiti, is me only. Saranam, I am the shelter. Surit, I am the most well-wisher. Prabhavaha, I am the creation. Pralayaha, I am the dissolution. I am the sthanam, I am the ground where everything is sustained. Nidhanam, resting place. Bijam Abhayam, I am the seed, imperishable seed of you and every species. So now your duty, what is left now? Everything is completed. So Krishna's only goal is to make living entity understand that you need to think about me. You need to think about me. That's the whole conclusion that Lord is going to conclude in this 9th chapter in last sloka. Text 19. तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षं निगृह्णामि उत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदशश्चाहम् Arjuna. O Arjuna, I give heat, tapami, and I withhold and send forth the rain. Aham varsam nigranami. I am immortality, cha amritam, cha eva mrityuhu, and I am also the death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Sat, asat. Sat means spirit, which is eternal, and asat means temporary material body or matter, the earth, water, fire, or a combination of it. Purport? Purport would be read by whom? Okay, Achyuta Shokatma Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During the summer season, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky. And then during the rainy season, he gives unceasing torrents of rain. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna. And Krishna meets us at the end as death. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna there is no distinction between their matter and spirit. Or, in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna, and his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyama Sundara playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. So once again, the same thing. The Lord is telling that everything, all the energy is from me. I give the heat, I send for the rain, I am the immortality, I am also the death personified, both spirit and matter in me. Any preaching application you see here, dear devotees?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So, first point is Krishna control the nature forces, and second point we can see the matter and spirit both are Krishna. So the material world is also not independent from the Krishna's energy. That is also under the control of the Krishna. And the spirit also part and parcel of the Krishna. So matter and spirit both are the matter of Krishna, and Krishna control the whole nature, the forces, the energies.
Exactly. Very nice. Any other devotee like to say something? Personal application, you do feel like, huh? Anything if you can apply in your personal life, any point in this particular section, particular purpose. Lord is telling that for me there is no difference between soul and the matter, right? Yes, matter is not something one should feel like, okay, matter is something we should abhor or should get away from it. In neophyte state it is so. But a person who is on the Mahatma platform, he will apply everything in service of Krishna because he see connection of Krishna, connection of matter as well as soul, right? So any soul whatsoever, whether it is in the Muslim body, Christian body, he will think how to engage them in Krishna service. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. When he went to USA in the first month, he engaged a Muslim guy into distribution of Bhagavatam volumes, if you remember from Prabhupada Linamritam, right? So this vision of body, matter, and soul all are like spiritual. That is only possible by a Mahatma, right? And there is a sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sthavar jangam na dekhe tar murti sarvatra sphurit hoy tar isht deva spurti. So that's what it is. But for us now, okay, matter is inferior and spirit is superior. That's okay. But in the ultimate run, ultimate sense, everything is actually just energy of the Lord, matter and spirit. Both matter and spirit are actually spiritual for Krishna and his pure devotees. So this particular section, I think it's getting completed, and we are here from text 20 to 28 onwards. This total of 9 slokas are comparison between demigod worshippers and devotees. So today we could just complete one section, and 2 more sections are left. And in 9th chapter, we are into second session of our 9th chapter, right? So we have one more sitting. So do you like to continue on with these 2 sections tomorrow, or what do you feel?
Tomorrow, like I think 2 hours, we can complete it. I think.
2 hours we will complete. Of course, in the last section, I will like to give more time for it because most important, most confidential section of the most confidential knowledge is going to be.
So, can like tomorrow evening.
Let's see. We'll maybe stretch a little bit and complete. If you don't mind. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll pause here. Thank you so much. Anything to say? Okay, fine. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for having so much patience throughout the session and keeping your video on throughout the whole session. And kindly keep that up. And attendance, who is taking attendance? Kindly report the attendance in the group.
Okay, bro. I have taken a screenshot.
And this Loka and CB and OBA hopefully is getting submitted. Right. Yes,
Okay.
no.
Yes, bro.
That's what. Otherwise, you did the session, then again, no, you don't get the certificate. Then, unless you are a Mahatma, you just want to hear from so many places and keep hearing without certificate. You could go ahead for those all other assignments. Hare Krishna. Okay, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari
Hari Hari.
Bol.